Peace and love, y'all. It's your girl, Divine Priestess. Tapping back in with y'all with more messages from Spirit, okay? And today, we are definitely got some dope topics that we're going to talk about, okay? But you already know what time it is. We got to clear the energy first and foremost. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live, okay? The Most High, the creator of all, God, Spirit, universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides of divine light. I call in your unconditional love, divine guidance, and spiritual protection over this space and over this reading. Allow me to be a vessel to channel your divine wisdom and guidance and call on your protection against any low vibrational being, demon, entity, evil eye, black magic, spell work, hoodoo, voodoo, hexes, or curses, and so mote it be. Ashe. What's up, gang? What's poppin'? Goddess gang in the building. What's happening? Life through Jin's eyes. Thank you for joining the live. Hey, Philly Barber in Houston. Thanks for joining again. Phase 33. Thank you so much for joining the live, love. And thank you so much for your compliments. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all presence here. For real, like literally anytime I come on live, and I really appreciate y'all, especially the people that come and continuously come back and come vibe with me. I really appreciate y'all, okay? Y'all, today we're going to talk about lineage, destiny, okay? We're going to talk about our ancestors. We're going to talk about you know how it's like, especially us, right? Us color folks. A lot of times we have been ripped and stripped away from our family lineage, our history, okay? We don't really know, like, we might know our grandfather, our great-grandfather, our grandmother, our great-grandmother, but when it goes beyond, like, the great-grandmother and the great-grandfather, it's like we don't really be passing down the wisdom down to the family, or, like, we don't really be knowing our history. Like, that's one thing that it took for me moving here to Florida back when I was, early 20s or whatnot. And it was like, it exposed me to culture, because I feel like being from the Midwest, you look at everybody and everybody's like, okay, black, white, Mexican, Chinese, you know what I'm saying? But culture is so much deeper than that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I'm looking at you like, she. Yeah, I'm sorry. It looks like it's poor connection. But yeah, it's like, I look at people like, she mixed or he's mixed, but it's like, mixed with what? People be Dominican, like when people are like Hispanic or whatever, don't call no Mexican Dominican, or don't call no Dominican a Cuban or whatever. It's like, this is literally, the difference. Like, people that are cultural, they know these differences, right? You in Florida now? Yeah, I am in Florida now. And I'm sorry, I'm over here like trying to see, but I'm in Florida now. Like, I'm out here near the equator. You feel me? Getting all these vibes flowing from the sun. You know what I'm saying? We gotta we be needing that. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I need a little tan anyway. Okay, but yes, y'all, we literally have been like stripped away from our history, stripped away from our roots. You know what I'm saying? We're lucky if we're in a family where we actually pass down our heritage and our lineage and the family stories, and we know like what's going on in the family. But especially like our culture, and I understand, it's not just black people either. There's a lot of, it's just the American culture. Like, a lot of times people will come over here from their country, they become Western civilizationalized, I guess, if you want to call it, and you lose your culture when you kind of embody and embrace this Western civilization culture. You see what I'm saying? You tend to get stripped away from the roots, okay? So we're gonna get into this, okay? Because this is where I'm finding the cases of us becoming kind of lost, right? When we come into this realm of existence, right? We get lost in the world and we lose our way. It's like we come in, we were born into families that are studying and practicing certain belief systems and things like that we just adopt, right? We just adopt these systems. that we're born into. You see what I'm saying? And we don't ask no questions. Like, we just like, okay, well, shit, our mama, our daddy said that, you know, when we went to church, the church said, or whatever. Hey, Made by Glide, thank you so much for joining the live again, love. But yeah, so it's like we in the midst of that, you know, us being born into families where there's already a known belief system set for you. Okay, you adopt that, and then, you know, as you grow, you tend to kind of identify with stereotypes and so on and so forth, right? But here's the thing. This is why a lot of us are so led astray, because when it comes to our ancestors, right, and our lineage and our DNA and who we really are culturally, you see what I'm saying? A lot of times, since we lost that, right, it's easy for us to get led astray, because yeah, we don't have a level of understanding of our roots. So it's like, when you're rooted, you're grounded, you stand for something or fought for anything, when you standing on business about who you are, where you come from, right? Nobody can come along and steer you away, because you know who you are. Hey, Ule Boom. Why do I always mess up your name? Welcome to the live, love. Thank you so much for joining today. So, yes. What I'm trying to say is since we get so stripped away from the root, it's so easy for us to be uprooted, right? Let's say that. We get uprooted and we get to a place where now we're like, it's easy for us to get lost in the world and not know exactly, like, damn, where do we come from and things like that. So it's so important for us, right, to go in and make sure that we are tapping into that, right? And it's like, if we don't have any family that is able to pass this information down, you see what I'm saying? Then, you know, maybe do your own, you know, or even just go back, like, to your ancestors, even if it isn't beyond your great grandmother or your grandmother or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we got to still activate that DNA aspect, because that's what happens. It's like all of this, the trauma and everything from our family is passed down through the DNA, right? So it's like, when they talk about generational curses is more about we're passing these traumas down. We're passing these same perpetual low vibrational habits, or the way that we eat. You know how they say, like, people can it's a hereditary. You're like, what kind of diseases you can pick up is hereditary, but it's not really. It's really because these family members are passing down these behaviors and these bad habits that are hereditary, right? But if you decided to change that habit, then it's not hereditary, because it's like you shifted that and now you transmuted it to pass something different down to your offspring. You see what I'm saying? And now you're transmuting and shifting and passing on generational wealth versus the generational curses of passing on the bad habits and, you know, the low vibrational things that we involve in, or the just, you know, not being intentional about how we're bringing life into this realm anyway, because that's where the trauma lies. We're just out here doing things with no intention, and then boom, next thing you know, you have a child, and you have a child that you can't even fully pour into, because you're still developing yourself. You're still trying to build yourself up. You're still trying to figure life out. You see what I'm saying? And now you're just perpetuating the generational curses, passing on the negative ways of disciplining your child and things like that. Like, that's what is being passed down through, right? Not having an awareness of the fact, like, hey, I'm breaking whatever generational curses may have came about or been passed down previously before I got to this point. You see what I'm saying? So my point is to say is that let's start paying attention to those things when it comes to our lineage, our legacy, okay? Like, when we are giving thanks to the Most High, right? a lot of our ancestors, okay, people in our family that are passed on, though, they are rooting for us because they are waiting for somebody to come through and break that generational curse that has been passed down throughout the family for however long. You see what I'm saying? And it's like your ancestors are your spiritual protection, your spiritual eyes that watch over you in the spiritual realm. You see what I'm saying? And it's like while you're going through your journey, going through your path, you know, they're pushing you in predicaments and situations, trying to get you to see the big picture, or trying to get you to see the lesson in the patterns, right? These perpetual patterns that we're passing down through generations. If we're not willing to break these things, these behaviors, these habits, right, and not recognize them for what they are, then we just are subconsciously picking these things up, and then we're passing it down, right, with or without our awareness or knowledge of it. And so we're perpetuating something that we don't always know or able to get to the root of, because it's almost like we talked about the subliminal programming yesterday. It's very subliminal, the things that we are passing down when it comes to our lineage, when it comes to things that are being passed down through family and things of that sort, right? So we got to start paying attention to that. Like, a lot of times we love to pass on the toxicity to the family. Like, when we talk about how we discipline our kids, think about, like, especially my age, right? My generation or whatnot. Like, we was probably like one of the last generations, like the 80s babies and stuff like that, to experience that type of discipline, that like the old school people, when they would go get the switch off the switch off the tree, you know, or go, you know, or I'm gonna tear your ass up with a belt or whatever. All of these things were passed down, right? Those are generational habits and behaviors that were passed down, that was passed down through the family history. You see what I'm saying, of like what it is to discipline your children, right? But now we're learning more healthier ways, right? Because the problem that we've always had is that we've been taught to kind of react negatively to things that we don't like. Like, if we're disciplined in a way where we do something that our parents don't like, and then they go beat us with a belt, right? Then that is my point to say that now that's teaching us that when things are not working right in my favor, and I'm not doing, you know, or if somebody's not doing what I need them to do in the way that I need them to do it, well, now I'm about to go upside their head. Like, it gives us that subconscious programming that is okay, when in essence, where it's not okay to go and take action physically do harm to somebody because you don't like something. Really, that's the reality of it. But that's the uncontrolled, lower vibrational aspect of us, right? When we get into that root, that primal energy, right? We get into that space where we're able to go and be primal, be animalistic, right? And we gonna, you know, it's like the jungle. You see what I'm saying? And now we got to go through these, you know, primal ways of combating each other, when that's not something that we should be doing in essence. When it comes to, you know, when we're using our higher selves, we should never have to get to that point where now we have to use violent force to get somebody to communicate clearly with us, or to try to gain some type of understanding. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, this is what this is about. It's about breaking generational curses and recognizing the things that are curses in our life. Hey, Santi Messiah, welcome back, baby. Thank you so much for joining the live. Yes, you know, it's like when we don't realize that there's these perpetual habits being passed down, and we're literally subconsciously absorbing them, and then we're subconsciously passing them down to our kids. This is something that has to stop. We have to learn that we're pushing and perpetuating the same toxic cycles, and we have to be the one to say, it stops here, right? It stops with me, okay? I'm not going to be the one to perpetuate, and knowing how these things that my parents did to me affected me negatively, right? Why would I turn around and perpetuate that onto my youth, my children, you know what I'm saying, I'm supposed to be pouring into, right? So these are things that we are highlighting because it's like, if we don't realize this is a problem, right, that, okay, some of these things are being passed down from in my family, right? When we hear about a lot of people that are being abused, you know, sexually abused, things like that, it's always the people that was in close proximity to the family or was in the family that was able to violate that person that way, because it's like we ignored the signs and we ignored the signs and the history of, you know, people's negative behaviors. And like, we may have caught wind of this person being low vibrational and getting involved in other things, but it's like we're not looking at that. We're like, oh, well, that's my brother. He would never touch my child or whatever. But it's like, his energy and the things that he was invested in, like, you was able to see that there's something lower, right, controlling him and interacting with his vibration and his energy. So it's like, a lot of times we'll look past it just saying, oh, that's my family, they would never do that. You know what I'm saying? And then lo and behold, your little innocent child is there being abused behind closed doors. And you know, when you're innocent and you're pure and you're young, and you know you got to respect adults, and you know that, you know, you're like kind of fearful to speak out against things that are being done to you in the darkness. You see what I'm saying? Hey, what's up? Yes. And so it's like, at the end of the day, we got to be able to start holding folks accountable as well. Like, within the family, when you see motherfuckers doing foul shit, and it may not be that I had to catch you doing something to somebody that's in the family or somebody that I love or deem care about. When we see you doing fucked up shit to people in general, that should be something to take into consideration. But a lot of times, there's people co-signing negative behavior and like, oh yeah, like, as long as it's not being done to anybody that's associated with them, or if it's not being done to them, they don't have a problem. It's like they'll turn the blind eye to somebody else getting abused. And that's the fucking problem in the first place, is because a lot of these abusers have people that protect them and turn the blind eye to their behaviors. What's up, Money the Model? Thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yeah, people are getting abused, and especially when it's the innocence and the purity of children, okay? And they're born into this environment that they have to, with their young minds, have to develop and learn. And then it's like you're being subliminally programmed by your environment. So by the time you're 6, 7 years old, you've embodied these behaviors, you've embodied these things, right, that are subliminally controlling you. And then from there, you know, so it's like, we got to be the ones that say, it stops with me, because I'm not going to continue to pass on these negative behaviors on to my children so they can continue to pass this on, because all that's happening is our ancestors are like reincarnating into this life and experiencing these same traumas over and over and over again. So it's like, if you don't decide that if the buck stops with me, and one life cycle or another, your ass will be back here dealing with the same fucking bullshit, okay? Well, I swear my shirts be picking up my filters and shit. But yeah, it's like, that's the life cycle. If we reincarnate here, right, into this world, and it's like, you know, whoever, maybe it's, you know, 100 years later, you know what I'm saying? What if it's a fucking, you know, whoever knows how long? But my point is to say is like, we're not just living for us. We're living for us, our ancestors, our DNA. Like, we're living, and also, you know, whatever spiritual, whatever divine path God has for us, right? But it ain't just, it's bigger than us. And we're always thinking singularly, right? When the reality is, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Like, we gotta move about life, because life is like, do we want to continue to put our lineage through the same traumas and the same issues and the repetitive cycles, and continuing to create these these broken children so they grow up into broken adults. Yes, thank you, Santi. Thank you so much for that. And it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's real, because when we start to break those chains, right, we will start to create and develop this pure joy and happiness and serenity and peace within our bloodline, because now we're not passing down trauma and poverty and abuse, okay, down to our children so they can go and perpetuate it into the world and go fuck other people up and cause these issues. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for us to decide that it stops with me. Like, my ancestors are rooting for me. The Most High is rooting for me. And, there's a lot. There may be obstacles. There may be challenges in my way. But I'm that much more equipped to go about and go through this darkness, because now I have an awareness, more clear understanding of this purpose that I have is here. It's bigger than me. And it also includes my ancestors, my DNA, my lineage, my legacy. What am I leaving to my children, and what are they going to have to experience on this earth when I'm gone? Like, it's like we are just so selfish, right? And it's always about me. What is it like I need to do for my life? I got to make some money. I got to do this. And meanwhile, your kids are sitting somewhere being neglected, not getting that pure connection that they really need to be poured into, to be loved on, right? It's like children, we don't bring children in the world to just be off somewhere set up to just live, and then, when they get 18, now you just push them out the house to figure it out for their own, right? No, we're supposed to be pouring into them, giving them wisdom, knowledge, not just book smart knowledge, not just go send them to school. What are you teaching them outside of what you're teaching them when you send them to school? Are you pouring into them? Are you teaching them affirmations, how to love themselves, how to be creative? You know what I'm saying? How to empower themselves, like how to not allow themselves to get beat down emotionally, or have self-esteem, and all of these different things that are important beyond just going to go be a slave for these corporations. Like, you need life skills, right? They need to understand, they need to have this balance within, right? I just seen something the other day where they're actually paying people to pull their kids out of school to homeschool them or something, and they pay them like a pension every so often if you homeschool your kids. So it's like, I'm encouraging the fact that it's like, yes, there's being these subliminal influences that are happening to our children. You see what I'm saying? And if we're not correcting these influences, right, then that is exactly how that continues to be perpetuated, because they're confused. And as kids, I remember being a kid, right? I remember being a kid, or just hearing a song or something, and I don't know the words, right? But I just create my own words, because that's what kids do. Like, we just know what we know, and we're just gonna make it make sense the best way that we know how. What's up, Insta Dre? Welcome back to the live, bro. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that we're going to improv, right? We don't fucking know. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when it came to like the lyrics of a song or some shit, you'll be singing a song, you don't know the words. The words is what you thought they was. You see what I'm saying? So that's how the development of a child's mind is, right? If we're not putting things into perspective properly for children, then what do you think is going to happen? They're going to turn into preteens. They're going to turn into adults, and they're going to be lost and broken. Nobody really put them on game about life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really corrected their perception, because they just thought, oh, yeah, send your kids off to school, and when they come home, put them in front of the TV. Like, they don't have no responsibility to teach they fucking kids. They don't have a responsibility to pour into them, to teach them about life, not just how to go be a slave to the system. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to break these generational curses that we pass on through our lineage because of just either having kids too early while you still a kid, you haven't developed yourself yet, you haven't developed your mind yet, you don't know how to pour into a kid because you didn't get poured into either. You see what I'm saying? When you was a kid, and this is what I'm talking about. These are the perpetual these generational curses that we pass down. Like, we need to be trying to if we're going to perpetuate something that's going to affect us generationally, it needs to be, let's pass on generational wealth, generational health, generational unconditional love, right? Let's pour into the confidence and the self-esteem of our children so they're not sitting around, right? First of all, what happens is these kids are just embodying who we are as adults. Hey, J Red 85, thank you so much for joining the live. Yeah, but basically all they do, right, is they are absorbing everything that we are. And we're not leading by example, right? So these kids be young and they grown and they, you know what I'm saying, they doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing at the age that they at. We're not preserving their innocence and their purity. It's like we're laughing and joyous and having fun when the kids is cussing and doing shit that they don't need to be doing at a certain age. You see what I'm saying? And we're kind of perpetuating that, like, because their kids are going to be like, you know, they see a positive response if it's a laugh, if it's funny, and they're going to just do it because they're like, oh, look at the response I'm getting from doing this. They don't know that it's right or that it's wrong. You see what I'm saying? So it gets to that point where we have to be in a place where we notice these things and we're wanting to alter and shift this because we want to create healthy habits in our children. We don't want them to have to worry about anxiety and depression and ADHD and PTSD and everything when they get older, like we all experience it because of the crazy shit and how we was brought up. This is definitely valid because it's worse now because it's kids having kids now, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was born into that type of generational curse where, like, my mom was a young mom, her mom was a young mom, and so on and so forth. Or like you know, are born into a family where it's like they just still trying to figure shit out. So it's like they don't know how to pour into you properly, right? So yes, we got to learn how to not continue to perpetuate this cycle, right? Okay, and I feel like I've just drawn that into the ground enough, right? So, but when I wanted to talk about lineage, though, it all ties in because it's like when you're a spiritual person, your ancestors is a key. Like your ancestors are like your guardian angels, right? You have ancestors that are in alignment with you. You know what I'm saying? So those are in alignment with protecting your destiny, basically, right? And so in that case, those ancestors, it's like we are not. It's like the ancestors are kind of forgotten now, right? Hey, Derek Easted, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, it's like, and since the ancestors kind of are like, we've lost, they're not in the forefront, right? Unless you are a spiritual person. A lot of times spirituality is what gets us back rooted to our ancestors, our roots or whatever. But a lot of cultures, it is tradition within that culture to embrace their culture and stuff like that. But I'm talking about, Western civilization, we don't embrace culture, right? We embrace, like, we American, we what is it, patriotic, right? But when it comes to our culture, our roots and everything like that, it really tears you away from that, okay? And so we don't need to forget about that because it's all a part of us. You see what I'm saying? But like when it comes to our ancestors, we don't want to leave them lost, right? We want to let them know that they're still thought of. We appreciate them protecting us and watching over us and things like that. So it's like, you know, creating altars, you know, burning candles and like showing love to your loved ones. Like if you have, you know, lost loved ones that passed on, your great grandmother, your great grandfather, or your mother, or whoever is your passed on loved ones that you feel in your spirit, or your guardian angel that protect over you, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like place them on an altar. You see what I'm saying? And you know, you can look into how you know about your ancestors. You know, like for example, my great grandfather, when I was younger, he used to give us silver dollars. Whenever we would come to see him, he had like this big ass mason jar full of silver dollars. He would give me silver dollars. So like when I want to think about my great grandfather and I want to call his energy in, then that's, you know what I'm saying? I think about, okay, let me coins, things like that. So it's just like what I'm trying to say is, you know what your ancestors like, what, you know what I'm saying, but you want to create an altar to just helping you move through the 5D, the spiritual realm, the unseen, right? Because they're the ones that protect you through the unseen, okay? So that's what we want to do is let's start creating things that give thanks and give praise to the ones that have passed on, right? And that's why it's like time is not linear, right? When I'm thinking about this, it's like when we giving thanks to the ancestors, right? And then we're pouring into the new babies that's coming in. That's helping us like recycle and clean out all of this negative curses that's been within the family, because now we're not ignoring, right? It's like we don't even talk about history like that, right? So that's why it's like we got to get back into the habit of the ancestors and knowing our history, knowing the roots, knowing where we come from, and being proud about that, right? Creating, like I said, altars or doing things to highlight that. But what I'm saying about it's that you're creating this cycle where your ancestors are passing through you when you have a child, right? Or that's your DNA being passed on, right? And if our ancestors are in our DNA, then that's when we talk about the reincarnation aspect, right? You see these videos and you'll see somebody who's like, oh my gosh, like this is my baby, but this is my grandmother reincarnated. Like I showed the baby the picture and she's resonating with it and this and that, right? So this is what I'm saying is like our ancestors are also our youth, our newborns, the baby that we bring in. So it's like when we connect all of those dots together and we realize like there is this system where we giving back to the ancestors and we're also pouring in, so that way we breaking curses, so like we can free our ancestors, because right now our ancestors are in a trap, right? And I've been watching this, there's this guy that I follow online and it's called The Soul Trap, right? And it's like they talk about how the moon was created as a satellite. And like I said, y'all, these are things that I read up on. I'm not saying 100% true, 100%, you know, these are things that I take into consideration and just, like I said, I connect the dots and make shit make sense. Hey, Dee Daily, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, the moon is like a satellite that when you are in that process of passing, right, when they tell you to go into the light, right, the light is something that's siphoning your spirit, right, to bring you back into this cycle, right, to bring you back into the cycle. Right? And so you come back into this life cycle, and when they do that, that's how you are reincarnated, right? So basically is what I'm saying is like, if that's the case, right, then what I'm seeing is that our ancestors are being reincarnated back into our so if I have a baby, that's gonna be, you know, my grandmother, or be somebody in my DNA in the past that's being reborn, right? And now if I'm perpetuating the drama that was passed down, the trauma that was passed down on this new baby, then now I'm putting my ancestors through the same shit that they've been through this whole fucking however long our lineage has existed, right? Now I'm like, they're having to experience the same fucking life here on earth that, like, who want to keep coming to this world to experience the same fucking bullshit, Nobody, right? So it's not fair for us to keep perpetuating this because we're trapping our ancestors in this fucking cycle to keep coming to this prison planet and experiencing it, and not in the way of heaven, right? When we're living in our highest vibrations, we're like, we talk about heaven and hell being a state of mind. And it's like when you are born into trauma, it's hard to live in a positive heaven state of mind, right? Because you're low vibrational. Low vibrational energy, that's hell. High vibrational energy, that's heaven. When we're talking about the aspect of how it works within us. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're perpetuating this experience from our ancestors, basically, y'all. So y'all get what I'm saying. I didn't say that a million times. So I'm like, okay. Next, right? So y'all get that aspect of it, okay? But then here's the cherry on top, right? Now that we are altering these generational curses, and we're transforming this into generational wealth, self-care, generational love, unconditional love, and we're doing all this, and we're pouring into our child in essence, right? And we're teaching them all of the great wisdom of the Most High and our own experiences in life to guide them and to mold them into being a great human being, right? And we do that, and it's like we create this human that becomes something great, right? That is somebody who can shift and alter whatever fucking craziness or whatever's going on, right, in their generation of their prime, right, when they're living, right? Because there's all these great leaders and people that make transformative shifts and paradigm shifts, and they come in and they do great things, right? Well, that person, right, was built through whatever their experience was, and that's what we have to remember, is that we're always influencing, even when we're not trying to, right? So it's like, that's why we got to try more to lead by example and be exactly the best that we can become, and be that, so we can be the example, right? Especially when our children, it's like a lot of times we will try to hide the negative things of ourselves, right, from our children, right? We'll go behind closed doors and make them go to their room to do the fucked up shit that we want to do, right? And the kids are not dumb, right? They're still going to be able to absorb the energy of what you are, right? Or it's not even about being dumb. They're absorbing the essence and the energy of who you are. And, and people may not be able to see you. They can still hear you, right? They see how you are acting on a regular basis. So it's your actions that really reflect learning, and it's your actions that really influence your child more than it is what you're saying to them, what you're telling them. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's like we gotta really pour into them and look at them as a project that we're building up to become something great, to be something better than who we were and who our parents were and who our ancestors were. So they can start. So now we can build them up. So now if I have to reincarnate back into this motherfucking life 200 years from now, I'm reincarnating into royalty, into motherfucking generational wealth, enjoying my experience, not fucking struggle and strife and fucking narcissists and manipulators and, having to fight all my life I had to fight and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody want to keep fucking dealing with that. And we're not going to continue to perpetuate that onto our lineage and our motherfucking legacy, because that's not what it is. When we decide to say, we step up and say, this is not our lineage, this is not our legacy, this is not our, this is what we represent. Yeah, so this is what we represent, and we're making a change. We're shifting this, and, your ancestors they empower you even more, because all your ancestors want you to break the repetitive low vibrational cycles and break these curses in the family. Okay, so when you're seeing, like, that's why it's okay that if you have to remove yourself from certain folks, if you have to eliminate certain connections, if you have to create an environment that's safe just for you and your offspring, so they not picking up, because that's another thing, right? You'll have kids and you'll be wanting to raise them a certain kind of way, and the people around you won't fucking respect it, right? You'll be like, nah, I don't want my kids eating no fucking sugar, no high fructose corn syrup. I don't want they moods being altered and they fucking hormones being off balance and fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my kids to have all this arsenic and heavy metals in their body and causing them autism, causing them to not be able to function and think properly. You see what I'm saying? So I wanna focus on this, right? But let's say you send them to your motherfucking, you know, whoever's babysitting them, you know what I mean? And they don't have the same beliefs as you. You see what I'm saying? Thank you. Yeah, that's real, right? It's like you'll go take your fucking kids to your babysitter and they gonna continue to perpetuate the fucking cycle, right? So it's like, that's why it's like we're breaking curses so that way we can be also capable. Because a lot of times people want to give their kids the best, but because of their circumstances, because of, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you don't make the proper sacrifices to instill those things into your child, and then you could, like, you just by default, because you don't feel capable because of your, you know, you may not have the resources or the funds or whatever to put that time that's needed, because the time that's needed to really pour into a child is the time that they make you invest into working for they fucking slave ships and they fucking corporations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All that energy that we put into these jobs, we should be investing in ourselves and in our children. You see what I'm saying? The same type of commitment that we have to a job, that's the type of commitment we should have to our fucking offspring and our children. But we so caught up in pleasing man and trying to look like we're doing what we're supposed to do based on the matrix. You see what I'm saying? We can't do what God has aligned for us, and he can't steer us in the direction of the path that you would still flourish and succeed in and still have the abundance and the wealth and everything. But you might have to overcome some challenges, some obstacles. You have to wait for that shift to align you with that, and that people don't be ready for this little grace period, this little window period in between. Everybody want it right now, and they're not willing to wait. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, we got to be willing to see the differences, be willing to be the change, be willing to, you know, take those first steps, because we might be the first ones in the family trying to break these generational curses. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else was cool with being toxic. Everybody was cool with just not caring, not really trying to heal and things like that. They wanted to be karmics. They wanted to be, you know, when you sleep on your purpose, you just become a karmic, which is basically, like we talked about on the last live, an NPC. You're a non-playing character. You're in the Matrix. You're Agent Smith. You're used by the devil, right? Because by default, you're demon by default. You don't have no higher power. You're not praying. You're not asking God for his guidance. You know he gives you free will to choose. You're not choosing to come to him. So now you're going to the Matrix for everything, okay? So that's how you're getting ahead, and that's fine. But there's going to come a day when it's going to be God's time, okay? It's going to come a day when it's going to be time to be in alignment with who you really are in spirit, right? And those people who've been karmics and been causing havoc and chaos and things like that, that the tables are going to turn. That's just how karma works. So it's like, we don't want to be those ones continue to perpetuate this shit, right? Because we want to clear out karmic debt. We don't want to create more, right? So that way we can live this life of abundance and everything like that. Not all families have been cursed. Not all families have these to worry about. But most people who are watching my channel are somebody with very grand spiritual abilities and have had to go through the dark night of the soul and have been an empath, have been abused, manipulated, deceived by people of their own loved ones, family, you know, things like that. And in that case, right, that's because that's a generational curse that got to be broken within that family. You see what I'm saying? So we just got to be willing to go through the motions and take the steps that's necessary to break these curses, because it's nothing like a love for a child, right? Like, the innocence and the purity of a child. And if that alone, you can't put this child on this pedestal to say this purity, this innocence, you know what I'm saying? This is like the closest thing to, you know, the Most High right now. Like, he just came fresh from spirit, just came fresh from the other realm, you know what I'm saying? And now this child is here, and to not have it in my spirit to want to give the best to this beautiful soul that didn't ask to come here. Like, I brought him here, like, for my own either intention or lack thereof. You see what I'm saying? And now it's not this baby that's on this pedestal's fault that I succumb to lower vibrations, or I didn't think about this with intention, right? Because a child should be a blessing. But when a child comes in and it's like a burden to somebody, that's because they're selfish. That's because they're not thinking about this child. They're thinking about, oh, me. Now I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't access this because now I got to take care of this baby. Well, bitch, who told you to bring this baby in the world? Hey, IAG444, welcome to the live, love. Yeah, so that, you know, these are things that we have to we're breaking generational curses. Period. Point blank. When it comes to lineage, legacy, when it comes to passing on the unconditional love, we're not passing on the abuse anymore in our family. You see what I'm saying? Because we freeing our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? And we're even freeing ourselves up. We're freeing our ancestors, but we're freeing ourselves because we are going to be an ancestor one fucking day. You see what I'm saying? We're all fucking connected. So if I'm going to be an ancestor one day, and while I'm an ancestor, I'm not an ancestor, right? But I'm going to be an ancestor one day, and I'm here able to take action. Yes, I am here as, I will be an ancestor one day, right? But I'm here now, able to take action. When you're an ancestor, you don't have the ability to be able to come into the physical world and do shit, right? You only have little whispers of influence that you can talk through to this active individual that's in your lineage and DNA, that it can do the things that need to be done to shift the generational curse within the family, okay? So it's like, if I'm here now and I look at it like this, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and fix this shit while I'm here on this physical earth. So when I'm back up there with spirit, and for whatever reason God calls me back to have to come back down here, right? I'm not going to have to deal with the shit that I dealt with this lifetime, okay? Greetings, peace, love. But yes, you know what I'm saying? So yes, that's why we breaking those curses, okay? We're breaking it. We're freeing our ancestors, we're freeing ourselves, and we're freeing our children from having to come into this existence to experience fucking poverty and oppression. You see what I'm saying? In any kind of motherfucking way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that was like I said, that was something that I wrote down that I really wanted to touch on. What else did I say? Let me see. If we have free will, hold on, say. If we have free will, right? Yeah, if we have free will, exactly. And we do. And so that's why we got to choose the better option. Okay? Why do we want to continue to perpetuate negativity, curses, and shit onto our lineage? Like, that's crazy to me that people be comfortable and just okay with that. But like I said, it's like what happens is you be so broke down from the trauma that now these low vibrational entities done got on you, and now they've affected your influence throughout your life. Now some people be having multiple demons and entities in them, to where it's like their soul is in the sunken place. You see what I'm saying? They're ran by other entities and energies. So it's not even them. You see what I'm saying? So that's another reason why it's so important for us to break these generational curses, because we're breeding vessels. When we're putting abuse on purity and children that are pure innocence, right? And they come into this world helpless and vulnerable, and we are abusing them and showing them traumatic toxicity that I'm new to this shit. I don't know what the fuck is this, right? It causes PTSD for these kids. You see what I'm saying? And then they grow up and they're they're low vibrational, right? Because they're either depressed, they have that low self-esteem, they don't think nobody love them, they're bad, or whatever happens to them because of being in an abusive environment, right? Now they become that because they're like, unless they're like an empath who's healthy, who sees beyond it, that within them that light still never burns out. You see what I'm saying? But some light burns out because some abuse be real heavy, just hard to deal with. You see what I'm saying? And so they light burns out, and they become so low vibrational that these entities, now they become empty vessels, is basically the point I'm trying to make. And then these empty vessels come in. I mean, these spirits come in and take control, and they guide them and tell them what to be interested in, what to do, things like that, right? So yeah, so let's see what else, y'all. I touched on a lot of this shit yesterday, but I had so much written down that I was like, I'm gonna save some for tomorrow. Shit. But yeah, this shit's bigger than us. We talked about lineage, legacy, generational wealth, passing on love and self-care and self-confidence and self-esteem down to our children. You know, instead of low self-esteem and surety and security, things like that. And poverty, you know what I'm saying? But I also wanted to touch on authenticity, right? A lot of times we aren't authentic. We are like really just trying to be accepted by the world. So we are not true to who we really are, or we hide who we really are because we don't feel that we'll be accepted by people. We'll feel like, oh, they're going to think I'm lame if I said that, or if I did that, or da-da-da-da. And it's like being true to yourself really stands the most tried and true with you being catapulted on your path and your journey, because the thing is, it's like I talked about the algorithm, right? We all have a demographic. You see what I'm saying? And it's all about, if we're authentic to who we are, there's going to be somebody resonating with your authenticity, period. Okay? You being your raw, authentic self draws in people who resonate with you. So you need to stick to your true self, not trying to be like other people who don't accept you. Like, you're trying to appease people who don't really fuck with you like that. Like, we got to start being like, who the fuck are you? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would I care about how you feel about me? You see what I'm saying? We got to get into that place where we are happy, right, to be ourselves and to find those people who appreciate us for us being exactly who the fuck we really are, okay? GTG, back to work. Oh, okay, gotta go back to work. Thanks for the strong, inspiring vibes. No problem. Thank you for being here. See you next time. But yes, so, your authenticity finds your demographic. Yeah, so being just tried and true to who you really are and not trying to alter yourself to appease people is what really is the key to finding your soul tribe, finding the people who are in alignment with you, because they're going to resonate with your authenticity. Not like people are resonating with your insecurities when they find you, when you're trying to appear to be something to be more appealing to them, when that's not who you really are. Okay, so authenticity is such a, so this veil being lifted as far as like who we really are and how our gifts are going to align us with our purpose and things like that. Like, all authenticity really helps you dig and see yourself for who you really are. Okay, let's see, if you're giving, oh yeah, so here's another thing too. You know, I'm not judging, okay? First of all, y'all, I'm not judging anybody. These are things I'm just trying to bring a level of awareness, because we talk about little puzzle pieces and how when we connect all the puzzle pieces, we can see the big picture, okay? So I'm bringing this up to bring awareness because, like, I talked briefly about Sexy Red and how she's an archetype to get us to resonate with demeaning behavior, self-degrading behavior, okay? And so this is like a form of devil worship, because what is the devil in essence, right? The devil is anything that devalues a person, a human, right? Somebody inhabiting a soul or whatnot, right? So if you are praising something that's low vibrational, it's like you're worshiping the devil. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we give all this energy to low vibrational things, right? Like we love to watch toxicity, right? And I just talked about this the other day. I'm not judging, because I'm one of those people that enjoy watching things like Love and Hip Hop, the reality TV shows and stuff like that. And I gave some insight on why I enjoy watching it, right? But worshiping and praising something that's low vibrational, like I wouldn't call me watching that worshiping and praising it, because like I said, I'm more decoding it. I'm more looking into the subliminals and like the things, or I'm looking at the things that highlight these archetypes of mindsets, and I'm watching certain people and how they're identifying with these archetypes, so I can kind of get a deeper insight on the mindsets of people, right? So, you know, I'm just talking about people who are praising low vibrational things in behavior, right? So I'm trying to find a good example. Oh, here's a good example, y'all. It's like when these celebrities are being exposed for the fucked up dark shit that they're doing, and you go to these comments and there's all these people in the comments making excuses for them, trying to make them, try to make sense of it, the bullshit that they're doing, okay? This is an example that you probably got some type of low vibrational entity attached to you, because it's like you're going so hard for somebody who's out here doing very low vibrational fucked up shit, and you're out here in the comments arguing with people and shit. Or like when people get upset with my narcissistic posts, like I get people that come on my comments, and it's so funny because I try to put a disclaimer and everything in the captions to be like, this is not, whatever, try to do like a disclaimer, and those people will still come and be in the comments, and it's like, I know that you have an attachment. I know that you are just having a negative response because you suffer from a lot of the things that we're discussing. It's a trigger, right? You're triggered. So what else, y'all? We talked about that. And yesterday we briefly talked about blind loyalty, right? And I always found this very, like, even the conversation about loyalty versus love, I really thought it was just a dumb conversation, because people be trying to make points that really don't make sense in essence. Because when you love somebody, right, your loyalty to somebody when you love them can be like it's like you are, what's the word I'm looking for? Why the fuck can't I think of this word? It's like when you coddle someone, right? You're coddling them, or you are enabling them, right? That's the word I was looking for. Hey, K9. Thank you so much. Kareem, right? Is that Kareem? I be really trying, y'all names, but welcome to the live, love. But yes. So, where was I going with that? So yeah. Oh, the blind loyal people. Yeah. So it's like you come in and you have this blind loyalty, right? And it's like, I never really understand the blind loyalty, because it's like you are enabling someone's behavior, right? If you, when we talk about love versus loyalty, right? For me, it's always going to be love, right? Because I'm not going to blindly be loyal to somebody who I know is either sabotaging self or sabotaging other people. And it's like, if it has to do with me, like I'm more of a mediator, which I'm going to let you know when you're wrong. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to let you know when you could have handled something better, and if there's a better way that situation could have been handled or whatnot, right? But my love for you is going to show you the error of your ways, right? Blind loyalty does not do that, right? Blind loyalty is what karmics and narcissistic people love and do, because these are people that don't like to take accountability at all. So of course they're going to want people to be blindly loyal to them. And of course they're going to be blindly loyal to people, because of course they're not going to question other people's behavior when they do the same shit that they do. Like when they're narcissists are alike, they gang up together and they support each other's behavior. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about blind loyalty and the argument between love and loyalty, and it was always annoying to even have this argument, because of course love is the greater force, okay? Love is going to push you to change. It's going to change someone. If somebody really genuinely loves you and cares for the fact that you want to see them do better, you want to build them up, right? Then they will appreciate the fact that you gave them love over that blind loyalty that just enabled the negative behavior that they picked up, right? Your love is always going to help somebody in the long run, right? Your blind loyalty may be a temporary, satisfaction for a person, but it's never going to be healing for a person. They're never going to be able to become a better person by you being blindly loyal to them, okay? You have to be able to tell people when they wrong, even if they and I've lost friendships that way, because it's like I'm not gonna be blindly loyal to no fucking body. I'm only blindly loyal to my motherfucking self. And if I feel like something ain't right, I'm not just gonna be blindly loyal to you when I feel like I don't really respect how you handled that situation. I really don't respect how you was the one that perpetuated this drama and really brought it on yourself anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like people want you to be blindly loyal because they're karmic and they want to bring you into their karmic debt, right? If you're somebody who moves with intention and purity and good intentions, all these different things, and you meet somebody who wants you to be blindly loyal to them, it's most likely because they're trying to draw you into some drama or some bullshit to take you off your destiny, to take you off your path. So watch these motherfuckers who want to talk about blind loyalty. You see what I'm saying? And act like, oh, loyalty over love, girl. Like, red flag, okay? When you hear people talking like that, okay? Yeah, so y'all, it's like the people who don't think for themselves and the people that don't stand for something. So that's another indicator of somebody who's probably going to be an NPC, an empty vessel, somebody that can be used by the enemy, okay? Be used by the lower vibrational forces and things like that, because they're not moving with no intention, they're not moving with no purpose, okay? So pay attention to those people who don't think for themselves. They're just looking for somebody to answer first so they can just jump on a bandwagon, okay? Somebody who doesn't have, those people that, like we talked about, being cliquey, being in a group to feel like they somebody. You see what I'm saying? It's like those are all red flags of NPCs, empty vessels, people who can be used, okay? And I think y'all are pretty much touched on, everything. Everything is just kind of reiterating those things, right? We talked about the media being a weapon set against us, okay? Because that plays on our subconscious, and, the subconscious is what we identify with the most, because we don't have to think about what the subconscious does. It's just autopilot, right? But yeah, so we'll go ahead, y'all, and jump right into the reading. Let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us, y'all. Let's get some advice, okay? And let's see what is going on setting around these situations and these topics, okay? Rest in peace to Aaliyah, okay? Matter of fact, the fact that she even came on right now when we're talking about this You see what I'm saying? And we know everything that's going on with this Diddy case, and like now they're trying to speculate that Jay-Z had to do with things. And there's already speculation that between Jay-Z and Dame Dash that they was fucking with Aaliyah back in the day when she was, you know, underage and things like that. And like, you know, this just goes back to like we were talking about with the ancestral lineage, DNA, passing things on and breaking these curses and stuff like that. And like we have been blinded and bombarded with like watching young girls and young boys, right? Because it ain't just the girls being abused. Like this is like we're seeing these childhood stars come out and tell their story about the abuse that was being attained when they were involved in the industry and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these things are being exposed. And it's like, this is what I'm talking about with breaking generational curses, because Aaliyah, these are just an examples, but they were children, right? They were fucking children. And these older fucking adults, right, that have these attachments to them, seen that as a thing to prey upon, right, and use, and I'm gonna sacrifice her. You see what I'm saying? And or things like that, you know. So it's just like, it just reinforcing the fact that we have to be more aware of the people that surround us, because it be the people that's closest to us. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of times when we're seeing these people sell their souls and they're sacrificing their family members and things like that, it's always, these celebrities always got their son, they the brother, they mother, they somebody in the family that passed away, and and all these things, you know. So it's just to say that it be the ones that's closest to you that will sacrifice your ass at any given motherfucking moment for their own gains. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why we got to filter and clean and detox the ancestral DNA. We got to detox and cleanse the behaviors and the things that we perpetuate on our own children, so we can break these generational curses and not expose our children. Like Aaliyah's mother, where was she? You know, these people that were childhood stars that got abused and sexually assaulted and things like that, where the fuck was their parents at? You see what I'm saying? Hey, Bevy Banderas, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, it's like, where the fuck was their parents at when these sexual predators were allowed to access their children under the influence of people who are high fucking hierarchy, very high in the hierarchy, very got hella money, supposed to be professional, right? You're thinking you're sending your child somewhere to go work and be in a professional setting, meanwhile they're being fucking abused sexually behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? This is the shit that we're breaking. And this is like, if we gave our children the right wisdom and knowledge and gave them the right information to be able to see and say and tell when something's not right, and to be able to communicate these things or whatnot, you know, who knows? It's like they probably wouldn't have been exposed, you know. So that's how we can be 10 steps ahead too, so that way our children are not having to be affected by things like this, right? Not just celebrities are experiencing this. Like, you know, it's known now that motherfuckers been disappearing since before we was kids, you know what I'm saying, and disappearing. And now we understand there's a whole sex trafficking ring, a whole child pedophilia rings, all these different things are being fucking exposed. Why are we still acting like this shit is not happening? And why? It's because only 10 million, you know, if this is true statistic, only 10 million of us is really, for real, really living, really got a soul, right? And if that's the case, then we'll look out into the world and see all these examples of all this fucked up shit and just think, damn, it's fucked up. But no, those are the ones that's empty vessels. You see what I'm saying? And the ones that's really soul bound, really out here, you know, with purpose and things like that, that's how we are bamboozled, because it's like it appears that everyone around us is this way. But I'm pretty certain that there's probably, like, I'm not going to say a statistic or a number, but my point is to say that per every 1 person that is really here living in a purpose or attempting to walk their path in their journey, there's like 20 motherfuckers that are preying on that one person, like, because they're empty fucking vessels and they're fucking, you know, they have, they can be used by the enemy at any given point in time. You see what I'm saying? So, Spirit, what messages do we have for the collective? I mean, what messages do we have for this live today, Spirit? What messages do we have for the live today, Spirit? What messages do we have for the live today, Spirit? Well, first out is the Knight of Swords, which is always giving communication, right? But very aggressive communication, okay? This is somebody that could be coming to, you know, try to argue, be combative with you, okay? Knight of Swords, okay? But a lot of times it's about messages coming in. You see what I'm saying? But this person, if this is representative of a person, this is somebody that is like, I don't know, I feel like very low vibrational, negative, always have something negative to say, okay? And they may speak, you know how when you just speak too soon? Hey, I am Katis. Thank you so much for joining the live, love. But you know how you just speak too soon? Yeah, you just speak too soon. Really, before you even, like you basically are the one that like, let's say somebody's having a surprise birthday party and you just don't have a problem with like coming in and being all loud and you know what I'm saying, and just interrupting the surprise, like, you know, it's like you didn't really have a specific type of concern or care of how your actions would affect the outcome of where everybody else was going for what they was trying to do, right? Okay, but yeah, this is like, and this is also too somebody that could be sending spiritual attacks your way. You know, this is giving like people try to attack you while you're asleep, like while you're in your dream state. So this is like giving somebody trying to send you something like in your dreams. And we just talked about this yesterday, y'all, when we talked about people will come into your dreams and place suggestions into your mind to control how you view something or to control how somebody views you. Like if let's say you're a dark empath and you have these spiritual abilities, right? You can go into people's dreams and influence the dream to make somebody have a certain perception of someone else too. You see what I'm saying? So this is what this is about. It's about the spiritual practices going on behind your back. Somebody could be sending you spiritual attacks and also smear campaign, talking bad about you, things like that. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, this is also like the Nine of Swords. So what this means is that this is something that is like this is something of the past, okay? But also with you having the Seven of Pentacles, okay? There's been, it's like a coven, right? A coven, or it's like, hey, remind yourself. Thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, see, this is like a coven of people that, y'all, I'm not even bullshitting. This is like the negative, the spiritual attacks being sent, okay? All the hard work that they put in, okay, to come in and try to place some type of spiritual attacks or like hexes, voodoo, curses, whatever. Even if it's just gossip and envy and like evil eye energy, this is because people don't realize that evil eye and gossip is black magic, okay? So even if it's not somebody sitting up here stirring a pot and on some herbal witchcraft, you see what I'm saying? People just by their fucking gossip and talking about you and it's not about the truth, okay? Then that is when it's like the shit didn't work, right? Look at them. It's like look at all this work that I put in, but I'm sitting here like the shit ain't working. It's like this is somebody or some people trying to put spiritual hexes, curses, hoodoo, voodoo, whatever onto you, but it's unsuccessful. It's fucking unsuccessful, okay? With the Ten of Swords coming out, this is like they gonna die before you do. Like, whatever it is they're trying to send to you, return to motherfucking sender, okay? That shit backfired like a motherfucker. So it's like, at the end of the day, yes, what they wanted to happen, it didn't happen. And it also backfired on them. But look, y'all, look what came out. The fucking 7 of Swords, okay? This is a sneaky, conniving motherfucker that's going to lie. These are like, these are, what do they call them? Pathological liars, okay? People that will just say whatever to deceive, to manipulate. And it is also like they're trying to steal something from you behind your back or without your knowledge, without you knowing it. So this is like, these people thought they got away with sending you spiritual attacks, with sending you curses, with sending you, whether, or the gossip and everything, okay? But it's like, the shit that they were trying to do, whether it was trying to ruin your reputation, to get in the way of a project or something that you worked hard for, right? To either try to get in the way of that, or to try and benefit from whatever gains that they would have from taking something from you that was going to empower them, right? Well, that didn't happen though, because it basically, with the 10 of Swords, right, that it's not fucking working, and they're mad about it. They're mad about it also, and they're also kind of wondering, like, damn, do you know about this or not? Like, because it's like, whatever the fuck they were doing, they thought they were doing it out of, like, without your knowledge of it, without your knowing of it. With all these fucking swords out here, baby, that's intellect, that's wisdom, that's knowledge, that's knowing, okay? Like, you motherfuckers can't get shit past you, but they think because you're so compassionate, you're such a loving person, that it's like you not smart or something, right? But that's not the case. You're just you like the union, and you like unity. You like bringing people together. You're somebody who appreciates other people, like, and you're not somebody that is one of these folks that be trying to get over on folks and trying to get over on them, and trying to manipulate people and deceive and do things behind people's back. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's exactly, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. With the Lovers coming out, it's like you are all about people coming into partnership and union that's in alignment with you, okay? You're all about being around people that you love, okay? And it's like, because of you having this love for these people so much, like, you couldn't even see it. It's like, it's like you see here, right? It's knives in the back. You did not see this shit coming, right? Knives in the back, coming from the back. It's like you didn't even know, right? This hit you like a surprise, like you didn't know, right? But Spirit came in and said, baby, don't worry about it, okay? Spirit will create these situations, though, to just show you, to level you up, so you see the value in yourself, and so that you see that you actually have a divine counterpart, and so you're no longer wasting your time on these types of people, right? You're in this space where you're so ready to let real love in, real genuine connections to come in, that you decide that you don't even, it's like you're not giving no more attention to these types of folks, these energies, these people, even if it's people that you deem wants to have these emotional connections to and love. Like, you're just letting Spirit guide you. And if Spirit is saying no, you know what I mean, it's time for you to just focus on divine union. And sometimes divine union is balanced within. It's going like self-love. Sometimes it's not about finding somebody outside of yourself, okay? Sometimes it's about finding the divine masculine, divine feminine balance within self, okay? And then that is what naturally brings in your divine counterpart, okay? Because with the Queen of Pentacles coming out, this is divine counterpart energy. This is somebody who is a matriarch, okay? Somebody who is this is like power couple energy. When you get with somebody and y'all on the same page and alignment, okay? Y'all about building a foundation structure, okay? Y'all know about how y'all want to raise y'all kids. You know about, you know, how y'all going to handle certain situations. Y'all come together and you guys have an understanding, okay? Like, this is somebody who is nurturing the coin, that's thinking about the future, okay? This is somebody who's not just looking for a good time. They're looking for the longevity, the long time. They're looking for the future and they're looking for we talked about lineage and legacy and family and passing this down. They want somebody that's going to come in so they can pass down this beautiful new generational wealth and unconditional love, because they want somebody to break these generational curses with, okay? So they can, not only we breaking the generational curses in our lineage and our DNA, but our divine counterpart, when they come in, we doing that together, okay? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. We're moving into calmer waters, moving away from all the drama, all of the things, the hardships, okay? This is like being in deep water, but coming into more shallow ground where you're coming near land where you're like, oh my gosh, I can see the horizon. I know that the end of whatever this drama, whatever these issues were, is coming to an end, okay? And I'm in this space where I'm also being guided, okay? I'm also being guided by the Most High. So it's just like, I'm not even, it's like I'm just moving out of the murky waters and things like that, okay? Yes, with the new perspective as well. I'm shifting my perspective and my viewpoint, because a lot of times we can be in situations where it's very fucked up, very dark, very, people can even break you down to make you lose track of who you really are, because you'll be like, damn, like, all I did was be pure and love you and gave you, my best, whatever that was. And at the end of the day, I got backstabbed, okay? And you took my kindness for weakness. You tried to steal from me, right? And you tried to send spiritual attacks my way. You tried to smear my name and things like that, right? But throughout all of that, all you did was change my mindset, right? You shifted the way that I think about myself in a more positive way. Like, you thought you was going to create all this havoc in my life, and that it was going to break me down, and all the fuck it did was build me up. It made me more motherfucking powerful. It made me be able to see that God, his power flows through me anyway. So, like, with the power of God, nothing can come and destroy you. No one can come and interfere with your divinity. God always gonna step in the way. God didn't say God didn't say that the weapons wouldn't form, right? He just said that he didn't say that they wouldn't form, but they would not. He didn't say they would form. But he said they wouldn't prosper, right? Look, I got blocked out for that, right? But he lit that up within you to show you how powerful you really are. Because when you had shit coming from every which way, spiritually, the unseen, the seen, this one, right? When this one and that one was warring against you and everything like that, you seen how much, you was like, damn, I must got to be a powerful motherfucker. Right? If all these people are trying to set against me and they're really trying to hold me back from something that they see within me that I may not even see within myself at the time. And now I'm exposed. I mean, it's exposed now. Because it's like, why? What do you think you're gaining from sabotaging me? What do you think you're gaining from getting in the way of my growth and my ascension? What do you think that you're gaining? Okay? Because you must, and it's like sometimes it takes the darkness for the light to reveal certain things to you. Because you may not be able to see it when everything's comfortable and fine. You got to get uncomfortable sometimes to see the real. You see what I'm saying? So yes, the hangman shifted your perception of who you really was, because you were kind of, you know how other people are a reflection of us, right? So when we be around certain people, our reflection may be a little clouded by the person who is actually our mirror. You know, they mirror is a little cloudy, so we may not be able to see ourselves clear through these karmic people. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and if all you're doing is being faced with karmic people, you get to a point where you forget what the fuck you look like when you looking in that mirror, because it's fucking dusty and foggy and it need to be fucking cleaned off so you can see who the fuck you really are, okay? But these dusty ass motherfuckers, they don't want to clean and clear out that negative energy. They want to stay fucked up. So it's like you got to clear and clean their ass out, okay? And find you a divine counterpart. Not find you, because it's not about finding somebody else. Finding the divine counterpart within yourself, right? Because whatever you have within yourself that's wholesome, it then comes and it connects to you from, and it shows you in an exterior reflection of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, now that you have this higher perspective, because now you can see your reflection clearly, because now you removed all of these dusty ass mirror motherfuckers that was coming to reflect you, but they're trying to show you somebody that you was not for real. You see what I'm saying? They try to come in and try to make it seem like you this, when you really a motherfucking god, you're really a motherfucking goddess. Like, you're really in your essence of royalty. You're really in your energy, okay? You're really empowering yourself to become what God wants you to be, right? What God has for you, okay? When you're walking in the footsteps that God placed there for you, okay, then there's nothing that any of these folks can do, okay? And sometimes it feels like they have power that they don't really have, because God really is just wanting them to think that. God be wanting them to think that they have power over you, so that way, God be wanting to make them feel like they have power over you, so that way you will just give in and to succumb to that cloudy reflection that they tried to show you. Not so you can be like, no, that's not who I am. This is who I am. And the only reason why they don't want you to know who you are is because they don't want you to see who they really are, okay? A lot of these people be clowns behind masks and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So what we do have next is the Fool, okay? And this is about you just taking that leap of faith, going on that journey, because you're being guided by the Most High. And sometimes when we get out of these situations, we can't always foresee exactly what is to play out in the future. Or like, sometimes we be so attached to the people that we're involved in that we have to like master this art of detachment, okay? Because if we don't, then a lot of times we are guided or we're misguided, because we are allowing the attachments of these people who don't really have our best interest in by heart to like, since we have attachments to them, we let it play on our heartstrings instead of looking at it like, well, I don't know if this person has the best intention for me, so why would I put them before my own intuition, right? So this is what the Fool is. It's coming in and you having these conversations with yourself as far as like, yeah, like, what sense do it make for me to, why am I following them when Spirit is guiding me somewhere else and is guiding me away from this traumatic situation? So it's like, I have to take a leap of faith to know that even though I may not be able to see how me moving out of this situation is going to be better for me, you just have to walk in faith, okay? What do they say? Faith as small as a mustard seed is what will push you to those steps, so that way God can slowly reveal to you why it was important for you to eliminate yourself from this dynamic in the first place, okay? Because a lot of times, like we said, the attachments, the emotional things that hold us to things won't allow us to see why we need to release certain people, places, or things, okay? But the reality is that if we don't do that, and do the releasing and the detaching, okay, this leaves us in a stagnant place. It leaves us stuck, because now we have energies attached to us that are not working for us. They're working against us. So it's like, now you're attached to somebody who's silently sabotaging you behind the scene, because they don't want you to come out of your... They don't want you to be they don't want to be inaccessible. They don't want you to be inaccessible. Your growth, your evolution, you moving forward, you putting you first is all white flags, I guess you would say. But red flags to them because they're like, I want somebody that I can manipulate. I want somebody that ain't going nowhere. I want somebody that I can beat the fuck down, and they're just so lack of self-understanding, awareness. They have so low self-esteem that no matter what I put them through, they're gonna be there, right? That's what the fuck these people be wanting you to be. Stuck, stagnant, not moving forward, not growing, being their little fucking footstool and pedestal for their every damn need. They want you to coddle them like you they damn mama or you're their dad. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, we both have to come together with a willingness to want to grow, to want to heal, to want to become better, to hold this integrity, this space where we are living in a righteous way. You see what I'm saying? And with the high priestess is all about the balance, right? Going within. This is somebody who definitely went through the darkness of the darkness, or they call it I don't always forget that term. The dark night of the soul, right? This is somebody that is balanced. This is somebody who, like we said, they had a lot of very dark challenges and things like that they've overcome, that have led them to this self-awareness, that has led them to realizing why important it is for them to have access to this intuition, because not everything seen, right, is going to give us the answers. And when we leave out the unseen, we don't have all the evidence that's going to lead us to the answers. And also, it's not about having all the answers, because God is the answer, right? Sometimes we don't have to see it clearly. We always want to see it for what it is, or have closure, or have understanding. But this is the reason why we don't, because this is how they use that against us, because they know a lot of us that are empathic, we want to have an understanding. We don't ever want to be left misunderstood or feeling like, well, damn, like, what happened? Why didn't things go right or go wrong? Da, 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 da. Like, if the reality is that people did not, they were not willing to, you know what I'm saying, realize that, okay, yes, this darkness has built me up. This darkness has shown me that it's so important for me to pay attention to my intuition, because if I don't, people like this exist. Like, I think before, like, in the mind, we didn't think that there's actually people out here just trying to come in and steal our intellectual property, or come in and just steal our essence, steal our energy, steal, like, you know, steal our creative ideas, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Or people trying to steal your destiny, right? That we didn't even have an understanding that this is something that people do, right? But now that we come to this understanding, it's time to turn our backs to the things and the people that create this vibe within us, that make us feel like we can't trust people and things like that. Because this is how this is how the enemy be wanting you to feel like, don't trust nobody. Everybody's dark. Everybody's fucked up. Da, 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 because then it just makes you want to join the party. Well, like, damn, if I'm the only one that's good out here, then why am I being good to people? Like, if everybody's just going to fuck me up and abuse and use me, why am I still, like, moving with a full heart? Why am I still moving with pure intention? You see what I'm saying? It's like the enemy be wanting you to feel jaded. Feel like, oh man, nobody can be trusted. Fuck everybody. Da, 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 da. You see what I'm saying? But what God is just saying, no, you turn your back to the things that are no longer serving you, okay? And the things that are serving you, that's what we're pouring more of our energy into. And that is redirecting us in the direction of what is for us. You see what I'm saying? But when we got to be able to let the intuition guide us, because we've been letting the physical things guide us first, and now that's why we lead ourselves. We be lost and misled, okay, led astray from the path and the journey. But when we tap into this intuition, right, and we consult with the Most High on a regular basis, and then we start to understand this you know, universal communication that we can have with the Most High, that he can give us that clear communication in things that when we're trying to seek some type of direction. But a lot of times we don't even ask God for direction, or we just make rash decisions. We don't even take 24 to 48 hours to process you know, whatever it is that we're trying to process, if this is the right direction or not, or whatever, you know. So we got to get in that place when we're open and willing, you know what I'm saying, to evaluate all of these things. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not worth being misled off of a path and it like digressing us and like delaying us from the journey or whatever the outcome or wherever the destination is supposed to be headed, where we're supposed to be headed. And it's like we are slowing our progress down when we're more invested into the needs of others, right? And this is, I'm talking about from people who are empaths, who have always put your needs on the back burner, okay? It's nothing wrong with being compassionate and putting your own needs to the side for people in certain times, right? But I'm talking about people who have done that their whole life, right? It's time to shift that and change that. And if you've been the manipulator and the deceiver, you know, the whole time, then it's time for you to turn those tables and start to work it through compassion and like work off that karmic debt. Because regardless of what role that you played, whether it was the karmic or if it was the divine feminine or the divine masculine, things like that, you can always make the decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna step up into my purpose today. Like, I know that I've created havoc in the world, and God, thank you for your forgiveness, and I'm going to show you every day by the actions that I take, by the new things that I pursue, right? By the way that I show compassion and I give love to others and help people in need, right? I'm going to transform myself into this righteous person that I know you desire for me to be, God. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even if you've been this person that's causing havoc, right? You can even change. You can even shift. You can even become a better person. But I understand that those people don't be willing to have to go through that darkness, because sometimes that darkness is very, 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 very dense, very dark, because like you created a lot of darkness within yourself. So now you got that's a lot of darkness you got to go through because of the decisions and the actions that you made and that you took when you were creating darkness for other people. Okay, so it's like now not only it's like you created this karmic debt, and because you did it so much throughout so many different people's lives, that's a lot of shit. They just like, I guess I'll see you next lifetime. You see what I'm saying? It's like they're at that point where they're willing to just say it ain't gonna happen this lifetime. I don't know, because you know I did too much dirt. You see what I'm saying? Too much. But yeah, Queen of Wands is just about standing in your royalty, okay? This is somebody who's super passionate, but like this is somebody who does black magic, okay? So this could very well, like I said, when it comes to these people that are supposed to be in close proximity to you and things like that, yes, they are certainly using certain black magic, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. Or this is a woman that is capable of using it. Doesn't mean that they are using it, but very capable. You see what I'm saying? So this means it's somebody who is this is somebody who's spiritual and very intuitive, okay? But this can be somebody with the energy that's very, I wouldn't say tomboyish, but it's like you are, this is like an outgoing individual, okay? So this could very well be you. Like this could be you being a very royal, outgoing energy that doesn't have any limits, okay? You're very passionate and you have the ability to work in the dark occult, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But like, so black magic, when we say black magic, we're referencing when magic is being used against someone's free will, okay? I don't condone that, okay? Now, this person has a black cat, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean black magic unless this is in reversal. So if this is in reversal, then yes, very well could be, somebody could be using the black magic. I mean, it's already out here. So yes, somebody's out here. It could be a woman, or it could be a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries person that could be using black magic against you, okay? But this could also be representative of you, embodying you. This is somebody who's super confident, very self-absorbed, okay? They're very aware of their spirituality too. This is somebody who can dibble and dabble in the multi-dimensional. So this is somebody that's very much like the high priestess, okay? Who can see it within that realm, that 5D realm as well, okay? She said, yes, very dense. Wow. Yes, girl. I'm telling you, like, we got to pay attention to our surroundings and everything, because with us being, being moved by the Most High, like, that is going to attract a lot of darkness, a lot of demons, a lot of people trying to come and attach themselves to you. It's going to take a level of discernment, because when you have a light like that, you're like a moth to a flame, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's very hard, to know everybody's intention that comes towards you. And I know it's like you don't want to just disown everybody and just not, be a part of, existence. But it's like, damn, bitch, I don't want to have to keep dealing with these damn dark empaths or these people trying to prey on my energy all the time. Like, that shit gets old, and it gets, like, you be like, really? This is what I'm supposed to... But now, like, you have more of an understanding. God is starting to become more clear about how this, it's starting to make sense. When we have more clarity of our purpose and why we're having to experience these things, it helps us surrender to it and accept it. But sometimes throughout this process, we're still developing our understanding of our purpose. We're still developing an understanding of who we are. We're still developing an understanding. That's why you have to just go through the phases, go through shit, because as you do, more and more things become revealed to you, and it brings an awareness to you of self, okay? Higher self, okay? But with the Queen of Wands, okay, then the Ace of Swords coming out, right? This is like epiphany energy. This is like new ideas, things that are going to, new beginnings in the way that you think, right? This is a new thought process, and it's like, this is because you think like this. You're pouring into yourself. It's overwhelming sometimes. Yes, sis, it really is overwhelming sometimes, because it's like, when you have such a pure heart and you just want to give love, you want to receive it too. And it's not fair that there's this grand imbalance of love given and love received. There's no reason why there should be this grand imbalance for these empaths who do nothing but just wear their heart on their sleeve and try to pour into other people. And it's just so unbelievable how people can treat you like that. But it's like, that's why it's a level of understanding. When you understand why, when you look at it like, okay, these people are just have attachments, okay? These people are non-playing characters, empty vessels that the enemy can work through, right? Whenever they're trying to affect me, the light being, the empath, the starseed, the indigo child, the chosen one, like whatever it is that you identify with that is make you're this gifted individual, it comes with the territory, okay? I don't think there's ever going to be a time in our lives that we won't have people trying to approach us and do this. That's why we're building ourselves up, building our discernment up, building our awareness of spirituality up, building our spiritual protection up and our spiritual sovereignty up. So that way, also building up the connection with the Most High, and the way that we communicate with the Most High, we're building that up too. So that way we are so much more clear on the steps when it's time to make those steps. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but we continue to pour into ourselves, continue giving our inner child the love that we talked about earlier, not perpetuating these cycles, pouring into our inner child, pouring into our ancestors by pouring into our children, right? And that cycle and things like that. So as long as we continue moving on like that, right, it looks like this is going to lead you right to your divine counterpart, because a lot of us who just all we want is just somebody to like love, that's going to love us reciprocally and give that same energy, right? We want somebody that's in alignment. And it's showing that with the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands out here and the Lovers, okay? This is somebody that's going to be coming in, okay? This is showing that you will have divine counterpart that comes in that matches your energy, okay? Hey, D-Flow, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But divine counterpart that's going to match your energy, okay? This is, and like I said, the wands is all about fire. This is going to be super passionate, fiery. You guys are going to be super passionate about each other. Okay, you guys are gonna be like, it's like y'all gonna look good together. You know how when they talk about you look good as a unit, you know what I'm saying? The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands are the most beautiful queen and kings in the deck. Hey, Beyond Beautiful, thank you so much for joining the live, love. They're the beautifulest king and queens in the deck. Okay, so they hold their head high. You see what I'm saying? So this is like you building this new confidence within yourself, and because you're so confident in who you are, your abilities, your gifts. Okay, you're having this awareness, right? Because here's the thing about polarity and spirituality: if we're light beings, we still need to have an awareness of the darkness. We still need to know, if we're working in light magic, we still need to have knowledge of the dark magic. We still need to have an awareness. We still need to have a balance, because we need to know how to offset these things. If we're walking in, like, the enemy, right, is always going to be trying to attack us, right? And we need to know their tactics. We need to know what it is that they're doing and things like that. So this is somebody who has an awareness of the occult. They don't practice black magic, but they study it, because they need to have an understanding of what these people, you know what I'm saying, and how they're utilizing it to try to set this energy against them. You see what I'm saying? So, but this is about a powerful couple coming into union. You see what I'm saying? And that's normally what happens after we, I hate when that shit happens. But yeah, a betterment for ourselves or whatnot. So yeah, so y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and cause the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck, right? That's just like I said, knowing that you're very intuitive, okay? Somebody that is also receptive, okay? Being open to the awareness of letting people like being receptive enough to be able to let people in, okay? But also enough to be able to have this awareness of people's intentions and being able to navigate, right? Whether you should or should not be interacting with this, like letting your emotions guide you and sense if people are good for you or not, okay? And a lot of times, like I say this a lot because I feel like I used to do this all the time, and I would gamble because I would just say, well, I want to get to know this person this bad, or it was something about this person that I liked so much that I overlooked whatever red flags was going on, and I would just be like, because there was no physical evidence, right? So I'll be sitting around waiting for some type of physical evidence just to prove to me something that I already fucking knew in my spirit when I first started dealing with you. So it's like, why did I need some type of evidence when I already felt like you was going to be exactly what you ended up being or doing, and how the outcome was going to be? I felt that, and that's what it was. So it's like, now we're in this space now where we don't need physical evidence no more. We're going straight from our intuition. And with the Queen of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, that's straight what that is. You see her so focused, like she's focused. She's looking at her chalice. The chalice is what holds the water. Hey, IPO7, welcome, bro. Thank you so much for joining the live again. So yeah, the Queen of Cups, yeah, she's so focused on her chalice. You see what I'm saying? And the chalice is where it's like, that's what contains the water. That's what the water is, the emotions, okay? Like when you contain your emotions, and that's a level of the control of the emotions. You see what I'm saying? So there's so much power in that, y'all. I can't reiterate it enough. That's gonna come up probably in every fucking reading, because it's just like, that's the power. The power is in the ability to temper the emotions. When you can temper the emotions, then that's when you don't let people come along and take you off your path, right? Because that's typically what happens. We get very ego-based, prideful. We feel like, you got me fucked up. Who the fuck do you think I am? Let me show you who I am. Like, you doing all this extra shit, and you just dropped your vibration down to hell. You see what I'm saying? And now these demons and these spirits, they want to jump on you, and now they're affecting you, not just from externally, but now internally. Now they playing on your lack mentality. Now they're playing on your anxiety. Now they're playing on, whatever you already got going on. Because that's the only way we can give them power, is to the things that we don't have control of within ourselves. You see what I'm saying? That's the only power that they really be having over us. You see? And so when we get these attachments, it goes directly to those things and starts wreaking havoc on it to get you. Well, that's a lot. I'm gonna read a few of those. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. They may all be relevant, okay? But yeah. So that's why we're doing it different here, okay? So we got comfort, prayer, choice, mercy, endings, and protection. I'm gonna just go ahead and take them all, fuck it, because this is all about advice, right? And we need advice regularly, okay? Especially moving through this 3D realm, okay? So, and this actually came through yesterday. Comfort, okay? Ask for help and accept it. Life isn't easy and it brings many challenges and trials. During the tough times, ask the angel of comfort to guide and protect you and give you much needed perspective. Exercise breaks down muscles, but those muscles grow back stronger the more they are used. It's the same with your heart. Every time it is broken, it can grow back stronger. If you are feeling alone, worried, anxious, or sad, you need to remind yourself that you are far stronger than you think. Hidden within every challenge, there is an opportunity to learn and grow. Share your fears with the angel of comfort and let them bring you inner strength. You may find that you are guided to ask for help from other people or to find comfort and inspiration in talking to others who experience similar challenges. Ask for help and accept help when it is offered. But whether help comes or not, trust that vulnerable feelings will pass. True healing comes from the inside out. Didn't I just fucking say that, y'all? I did. It like that's what we say. It comes from the inside. Once we start to look, when we go within and we healing from the inside, we'll be looking for partnership. But until we get the balance of the partnership within, which is that divine masculine, divine feminine energy within, that's when it will reflect outside of us, right? So the true healing comes from within, though. We mentioned that, right? Now this one says prayer, speak from your heart, right? Prayer is the power of loving intention or direct thought. Ask the angel of prayer to help you harness the life-changing power of your thoughts. Although actions can speak louder than words, you need both to attract what you want into your life. If you don't feel energized or inspired, if you feel that success is eluding you, or if negative thinking has taken over and stopped you in your tracks, let the angel of prayer clear away the darkness and replace it with light. Focus your thoughts on what is positive. Every morning when you wake up and every evening before you go to bed, try saying a little prayer either out loud or in your heart. And remember, prayer is a two-way conversation. As well as sharing your thoughts and feelings and asking for what you want, be sure to listen. Inspiration will come in the silence. Now, y'all, this is what I was just talking about the other day, how we build this communication method with the Most High, because God be speaking to us through universal language, right? And I recommend to anybody wanting to learn the universal language, I would recommend getting you a tarot deck, okay? Learning the symbolism. It's all about symbolism. That is the true universal language. And so what happens is we do this prayer exchange with the Most High, and we also ask God to give us confirmation, to give us revelations, and give us things that will be like undeniable to like what answer or whatever we're trying to get. And then also being out in nature, also like we got to get into nature. Hey schoolboy, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But getting into the nature as well is about that also helps you notice this universal language and symbolism, right? So when we start to pay attention to symbolism, it really helps us to connect to the unseen messages that are trying to guide us instead of just what we see in this physical form, okay? So prayer is very powerful, y'all, okay? So choice, okay? This goes back to the free will aspect of things, right? We go into things and we have free will, all right? We have to make a decision, okay? And God He said you got the free will to choose. And this depending on what you decide, right? You want that decision to be based out of righteousness, based out of, what the Most High would like what you think he has for you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and read in this one. Choice. Decide to do the right thing. It is easy to feel that you have no choice, but you are a victim of circumstance or ruled by your feelings. The angel of choice is here to remind you that you always have a choice. If someone upsets or disappoints you, you can choose how you react. And if you are feeling sad or angry, this does not mean you are a sad or angry person. You are not your thoughts or your feelings. You get to choose how to think or feel. Take the time to be still so you can understand and learn from your emotions as they flow through you. Carefully consider your options and make choices for your highest good and the good of those around you. Every instant of your life, you are making choices. A lot of the time, these choices are unconscious. You don't take the time to think about them because it is what you have always done. Y'all, these cards be so, I swear, be confirming this shit that I was just saying in the beginning of this live. So, damn, my bad. I got too hyped. I forgot to see words. Carefully consider your options and make choices for your highest good and the good of those around you. Every instant of your life, you are making choices. A lot of the times, these choices are unconscious. You don't take the time to think about them because it is what you have always done. Right? So, earlier we talked about the subconscious and the conscious. Hey, the King Wayne, 2440. Thank you so much for joining the live. And Ruben Sings. Thank you so much for joining the live, y'all. But yeah, we talked about that earlier, how the subconscious or the unconscious, right? That's like our autopilot, right? That's when we just do things without thinking about it. So we tend to identify with the subconscious when really the subliminal things is what has influenced the subconscious. So a lot of the subliminal things that we pick up is what naturally we identify with the most, right? So from now on, let your angels help you become fully aware and deeply conscious of your choices instead of making the unconscious choice, right? Ask yourself if this is what your soul wants and if it will make you and others happy. So, right, we kind of touched on that when we talked about prayer and you know, specifying what we desire and from God, or like if we're looking to help have some assistance out of a situation or something like that, to ask God to, you know, God, if you can please, you know, within the next 24 to 48 hours, give me a sign that I cannot deny, you know, or whatever, you know, build up your own. I can't tell you how to connect because we all have our own way, right? But build up your way by starting with getting tarot or if you don't want to get a tarot deck, you can still read into symbolism and understand what these symbolic symbols mean and, you know, how they resonate, right? So we have choose to forgive, okay? Mercy. Forgiveness is a decision you can make to release feelings of resentment, right? Ask the angel of mercy to bring forgiveness into your heart and into your life. If others have hurt you or let you down and you struggle to forgive them, the angel of mercy can remind you that forgiving is not forgetting. It is letting go of negativity and opening yourself up to loving feelings and thoughts. Is it just as important to show mercy towards yourself? You can't change your past, but you can change your present and what you choose to do with it right now. Understand what went wrong, learn from it, and emerge stronger and wiser. Visualize any hurt, regret, resentment, or anger you have for yourself and others as balloons that you can let go of and watch as they drift away. Okay. So I really, really like that. And there was something that, let's see. Yes. Okay. So with this mercy thing, this is well needed. And yes, I'm Katisse. I'm going to recommend some decks for you, baby. Give me just 1 second. Okay. With mercy, right? This is what we have to embody when we are empaths dealing with these types of people that are conniving, sneaky, narcissistic, people that come into our lives with no good intention that we've dealt with. We went above and beyond, and we really tried to show, you know, being loyal, being a good friend, being whatever you were to them as far as the goodness that you showed and the compassion that you gave, right? And with that being said, all of that was done, and the reality is that you really could be very resentful for that, right? It's easy to be resentful when you felt like you did something out of the kindness of your heart and it wasn't appreciated, it was taken advantage of, and only that, people played with you. They played in your face like you was a plaything, and nobody likes that, because then it starts to feel like blatant disrespect, and that'll piss a motherfucker off. You see what I'm saying? And it can drive you to a point where you want to seek revenge, right? So this is what mercy is, to forgive without someone asking for forgiveness, right? It's about giving mercy to someone, to forgive them because they do not know better. They did not know any better. And the situation also made you find yourself more, made you help you realize who you are as a person. And what it also allowed you to do was to release yourself from that bondage, okay? Because when you hold resentment, it's still an energetic bond. It's still an energetic exchange that you have with that person. You have to completely cut the cord of having any type of emotionally charged emotions towards these people, right? You have to get into that space where you just like, God, I know you put me in this situation with these people to learn this. It's not about them. It's not about them at all, okay? And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we need to learn how to give mercy to those, because God gives mercy to us, right? He gives us the free will. We go out here, we make all these decisions that may not be of the will of what he has for us, but we go about it anyway, and he still gives us the mercy, though. You know, see what I'm saying? And still, if we come back wanting to, because we come back with a better awareness, and we come back like, damn, God, before I didn't know it, before I didn't have an awareness. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I mean, he gives you that mercy, and he gives you that forgiveness to allow you to start afresh and start anew, beside, you know, because what you did before, you did not know. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I needed to know how to cut their energy for me. Yes, girl. And there's also like cord cutting rituals where you can just get you a cord, get you some candles, tie the cord, right, to the candle, let the candles burn down, and let the fire burn the cord. And then let's say it doesn't burn or cut at the end of it, then you can just, at the end, you can cut it yourself. There's so many different cord cutting rituals, but also if you don't, prayer, right, is another way. You know what I mean? It's just to pray about ensuring that your energy is returned, right? All of your energy being returned back to you, okay? That you're wanting to cut cords with anyone that is no longer serving you or serving your highest good, okay? There's so many different ways to cut cords, but just always affirm daily, right? Affirmations gotta be, we have to affirm these things every day. Spiritual hygiene is every day. Prayer is every day. So that's why we're doing this every day, because it's about the protection aspect. And if we're not affirming our protection every day, if we're not affirming the understanding that we have with the Most High every day, those are those windows, that these pockets where people can get in and have these low vibrational effects and things like that, or these people can attach to you, and it's hard to cut these cords from them. You see what I'm saying? So it's like with endings, it says, say farewell with love. Goodbyes can be difficult and painful, but they are essential for your personal growth. Ask the angel of endings to help you understand that endings are not about rejection or regret, but about awakening. They are a sign something else is about to begin. If you can't let go of the past, if you don't know when or how to stop, you can't start something new. Trust that when one door closes for you, the angel of endings will be beside you, helping you find the courage and heart to open another door and let the light in. It is important that you reconcile yourself to the reality that a relationship, experience, or belief that once guided your life is fading away. Chances are that you will miss the familiarity. The future may feel daunting and uncertain, but you are being called to rediscover yourself and find out who you truly are. It's time to say farewell to the past with love and gratitude, and to learn that endings offers you an opportunity for new self-understanding, new experiences, and even greater fulfillment, okay? So I feel like this just be reiterating what I was just saying, but yes, That's what, when we talked about the mercy, right? Choosing to forgive, that is what allows you to release and love, right? Because a lot of times we're forgiving without somebody even asking for our forgiveness, right? Somebody did us dirty, and so we're forgiving them for us, not for, like, we're not sitting around waiting for them to come and say, I'm sorry. Because a lot of times people, they're not sorry. They knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we have to have this level within our hearts where we're willing to be forgiving, because that is the next step that allows us to release and to detach, but to say farewell with love, okay? And without retaliation. Now that's growth. Exactly. Because if it's like, it's either that or matching the energy, right? And then next thing you know, we talked about these demon attachments. So we don't want to match people energy that got demon attachments on them, because then now those same attachments can now attach to us, because we're matching them on a frequency that allows these low vibrational entities to attach. If we're always vibrating high, if we're always seeing the silver lining, if we're always focusing on the highest outcome, the best outcome, you see what I'm saying? That's how we overcome the darkness and the challenges. And we also eliminate these attachments from having control over us, okay? And the last advice that we have is going to be protection. It says, you are in your own safe hands. Life can often feel unfair, dangerous, and uncertain. If you feel vulnerable, betrayed, drained, or frightened, allow the angel of protection to gently wrap their loving wings around you and bring you the courage, guidance, and comfort you need to thrive. Whenever you feel sensitive, visualize a bubble of white, yellow, or purple light around you. Nothing can penetrate that bubble. It is a protective armor and will keep you safe until you are ready to emerge or interact again. Be aware that you may be absorbing the negative emotions of others. Recognize what is not yours and detach from it. Reframe your attitude towards your sensitivity. Think of your empathy, intuition, and gentleness as a strength, a healing light for yourself and the world. So yes, y'all, compassion is a strength. Empathy is a strength. Our gentleness, our love, everything that we put out there, it's a strength. But they've taught us that these things are weaknesses, okay? Which they are not, okay? They give us. Damn, I hate when that happens, because then it's like my words are delayed. I hope it's not delayed. But yes, y'all. So yes, so and then going back to I Am Khatice, I do have some suggestions for starting oracles, right? I mean, yes, decks. I don't know why I said oracles. But yes, well, first of all, I said that because oracles are really great places to start, because all oracles have a lot, or oracles is like, you don't, like, this is an oracle card. Let me just use this as an example, right? I didn't have to really look at nothing and pull from what I thought it meant symbolically. I just can read the card. So oracles are a good place to start for self-discovery, right? And healing and things like that. Now, when you want to start actually learning the symbols, right? Symbolism and things like that, that's when you want to get you a Rider-Waite tarot deck, which is normally like it's the beginner deck. Okay, they're going to look similar to these, even though this is not specifically a Rider-Waite deck. It is very similar. Like, all the images are very similar to what the Rider-Waite deck starts with. Okay, so this is, I would say, get you the standard Rider-Waite deck. Okay, and because you want to start with the basic first, okay? And then once you start to learn and you know what these cards represent and everything like that, then you can expand to any type of tarot deck, okay? Because now you know and understand the symbolism. But yeah, these are the best ones to go for. I just seen this super dope, right? Well, it's based off the Rider-Waite. I don't know if it was a Rider-Waite tarot deck, but oh my gosh, it was like gold, metallic gold. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get that deck. You see what I'm saying? But let's see. And then we talked about cutting cords, right? So you're hey, Burke M, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah, like the gold, they have these in gold, girl. But see, I wouldn't recommend, I mean, you can get them and sit on them and wait till you and use these to learn, right? Because I think these are really great for learning, because like in symbolism, everything means something, right? In symbolism, everything means something. So when you look at this deck, there's numbers, right? So the numbers at the top, that's the numerology. So there's symbolism in numbers, right? So not only when I look at this card, I look at the number at the card, and there's all these messages that resonate with this number, right? Then not only are you looking at, it says it'd be cool to get a reading. I've been a little down. Yeah, baby, I'm not giving any personal readings today, but you can definitely look at the reading from the very beginning, and it may resonate. You see what I'm saying? Because this is a general reading, and if you were guided to this live, most likely that message, you're going to be able to pull something out of it from it. So I would recommend you review this live once I post it, which is going to be here shortly, because I'm at the end. And I apologize. I wish I could help you, baby. I do want you to feel better. I'm going to send you a lot of love and light and encourage you, because that's the thing. I want to reinforce the fact that we control how we feel, right? Sometimes we adopt other people's emotions that are in our environment, that are around us, and we don't even realize it because we're empathic. So when we have our energetic sovereignty, and we pay attention to the fact that this may not even be me. And if it is me, it's because of my perception. It's the way that I'm looking at this. I need to shift out of this. You know, if I say that I want to feel good, I'm going to focus on things that make me feel good. You see what I'm saying? So that's once we start to learn that we actually have power to shift and over how we feel. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, because please believe I done been in here and really struggling with trying to stay balanced energetically, and I really felt like it was like some psychic attacks or spiritual attacks being sent my way, because normally I'm good with managing my emotions. You see what I'm saying? But I do know that it can be tough sometimes, but if it's a constant thing that you work with, it becomes easier and easier. Okay. You said, okay, if you can send a message. Okay, if you can send a message and follow. I'm sorry, baby. I don't know. Oh, okay. Y'all talking to each other. I'm sorry. I was confused. I think this live will help you. I hope your spirit renews. That's so sweet. I'm Katiz. Yes, me. I pray. I'm sending good energy, good vibes, and I know the Most High is wanting to give you, encouragement, and if nothing else, light you up with good vibes and vibrations, so you can snap yourself out of this energy, right? Because this is what this live is about. It's about empowering you guys to take control over everything, right? How you feel, who you interact with regularly, all of these things are going to be helpful to you. Okay, so definitely make sure you come back, and I'm gonna, like I said, within the next 5 minutes or so, it'll be up and you can go watch it from the very beginning. Okay. But yes, so I'm sending you so much love and healing energy. Okay. And y'all, thank y'all so much for being here on the live. I do want to remind y'all, I actually just created a new divination journal for you guys. It's on Amazon. You can click the link in my bio. You can access the different ones. I also have some that are for the divine. It's not specifically for the divine masculine, but I try to make something that was less feminine for those who identify more with more masculine things, identify more with more feminine things. And so I have like 4 different journals out now. So I have a divination journal, manifestation journal. You have your goddess gang journal. You have your evil eye protection journal. Okay. So go take a look at those on Amazon. Okay. And I've got some more things in the works that I'm working on for you guys as well. So be on the lookout. And I'm just going to send you guys so much love. Thank you so much. I am Katis as well for sending your love back. I really appreciate that. Hey, Fit Mommy Yana, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Y'all, I'm about to save this live to the page because you just got here on the end, baby. But I'm going to upload this to the page, so I do hope that you go view this from the beginning, all right? I send y'all so much love, all right? And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, y'all. Mwah and mwah. See y'all next time. Thank you. I will, baby. You too.